penifo aye krado eti akwatia de ndie yate NSC akumi enkadada ena James Kwabna Bonfe e wo fia say o say
fa doctor ni so
ai on jam pe doctor no jam pe doctor na jama yetimi ya na prof bemu a e professor Bonfe edin be de professor Bonfe na che say ye de na musa eti mpanimfo no asiedwa NS de maje wasem we di Canada kebi akwaba doc
yanya
boko de
me na nanom sesere nya akwa ye tinkwamu na ye wade nyina na da no de meka nyina ne se ye nipa yi de ebebu abamu pa ne se ugidie ewo daachi ene obrankanko obetu na sabamu amanaya ifi se ye wonkwa na ye wade no ye nka no kwa ye wonkwa na ye wade eche se uwo kwan a obefa so atoto niema ne enkoyie no watenetene no ne ekoyie nso wasimupi amana tintim ni nyina no na obra no ehyeyi na enkwani ni we ndi madamfo bi a menini tadi nkomo na oka se ebiase mo enema mienu na nipa ewo yen ne dikan nkwanya me di achew any akadia ye de ye enkwan ho adwuma life and the things that support life we enkwan free wa enema aka ye de support life no ana de de hihye enkwan no e bi ti say atade akua wo hye ofefefe ha mpabo ehye wo wanu a waka na kama yi ka afidi a wutim de ba ha se enkwan ni won ma asa akade yi den hwe so enkwan any bibia na sankwa no so no ora onyi pa nya mfie oha eni adu no twosemu o sheda ka se onyi duru sanfie no enso na dwene na ho odin ni nyansa ni nimdie eni nani se de osihunu ade fa amrase me yehwo se ne mama yem so amrase ye friend Moses ono chro nyom aduokono na okai chichemu ai dumienu na wo se ma yenhu ye na kan yenyansa akoma ma yenhu ye na kan
yenyansa akoma
de let nu kwenu tie de me ka chewo no ma yenhu ye na kan yenyansa akoma nyansa de efe ka adwene no adwene mu but oka trose mo oka akoma na eye niema mienu adwene ene wakoma abotare ayede enya ayonkofra a sabi edim eno ne de asese ye nyina yenya enti mi de mempa ye ne se afi ba na wie ye na ye nyina ye hyiamu ye betimi de enua ensa to nsanyam aka se afishapa enua afishapa ya menka ye ho na minimia
me de achew
me facha me na me so me de odi achew dada yo na no kori ye ni nyina de chew yan fande che ho ye ho na ni titru no yan ka mpaya nyankopon na kireye say ye mo direct from God. Numbers 6 verse 24 to 26 o kan won mo e nyankopon dabi nyankopon na e ka kire Moses say on country ni yapani Aaron, the Lord bless you and keep you. Okay. May the Lord raise and lift his countenance upon you.
Quotation ni bio
Numbers chapter 6 verse 24 to 26. Nyankopon na nkasa no kire Moses say on fan sheni nyapani Aaron ano na on mos empire no emfa mane manfo onyame hira wo on manani so enhira from man na ona dom no endoso wo so yenna kakaya aka 2023 ye di ba wie ni 2024 yimu enye hira emfa mo bibia e wona dom enna humo brodi amen.
Amen. Prophet Kabila.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate you ampa. We appreciate you ampa. Na say minim CPP amanyo ko so da so ka ho.
Me pacho. Me free watcher. I seize my membership and me kan wasem
microphone
I'm not interested. Me say me free watch. Me nye party neba since 2020.
Na me ka say position no nko ananka bia. Party na nka say mo afiri mu.
Me wie madwuma ya me hu say. Nyame the audition me say me di wo ma di awie. I know how to say goodbye on certain occasions. Nti na masom adu somo a me fi say na ma ho den ebetimi amama ba bedu na mapem.
Okay.
And I've said goodbye to everybody, to every institution there, and I'm moving on with my life,
including the party.
Madam Nyami ase the odimia bidru nti the aka wo mani me so me my Ghana me manti sunya secondary school omoto no manti nyanti me mpaye ne se kwan bia ono nyankopon no pese ofa so ede me eboa oman yi ne chichire ene ne nkan kon ebi ni de meti anu ayeye nti say me ba no a aja the national forum na mode edame so edame so nti the aka ne be 2024 year mu Center for Citizenship, Constitutional and Electoral Systems. Me NGO ba kono. Abadada. You dey be adwuma mo.
O Center for
Citizenship, Constitutional and Electoral Systems. Census. That's what why do you come up? I say yeah the babe ye adwuma ma oman yi ade ba ko a edi nya pa ba ko oman yo a ye nyenti ase. Say wo ye oman ba I flow citizen. What does it mean? Article 41. 11 clauses. Then of all those and a kind. And I can you mean your MPs, your ministers, your DCs, a sovereign penny for imams, corporate institutional heads, media for and I'm more the word you mean. Nipa do those and I kind 11 clauses of Article 41. Yeah, can you do your Juma citizenship? You do your Juma now Trump. And they say be somebody one say yeah can say the CPR Pebiano governance is the ability to capture the mood of the people. It can never be about any one person.
Okay. Na me can say that so tinka me pe mo constitution na nanka mpese obo amene so se na wo kan say we free mu no because constitution no kwan ye fa so yi mpanimfo free mu no na nanka mpese me hu but o de ukoi de ne o de ko why kwabna ko
yes oko dida ntika so okoi de onko nipa no ko ye 2020 na o ka say okay disaf no so oko
also I don't know what chance of Vilia. Oh, that's really true. Oh, yeah, there be what shed that you know shed. Oh, better to Momonia Sheman.
One say, oh, eba, obi ebeka say nipa no kind constitution say your may dear say ya manyuku a ubekomu amini say gunsa no. Eti say then over manyuku mu constitution in the kafa say yesi ye yim penimfo e wo party no mu leadership ni nyina monko kwan ye fa so yi omo ena nanka me hia chi
matesa ye so mo court nti mo oba se wo
na ya ka chem so court me nya kata ni bi se wo ko
mo court
because asante mantem nhia mu na within seconds yesi mu nyina ya yi mu na na esapon ho so den no eno medwene ho anam se na constitution ban nie eno na ye kabila muta ndie na se ye nkroma de no ana se emu de nie
o kwa wa shada
da bi nya bo apa
nka ho hwe de
nka senti na mse no
breno so na se ebe to dwa na ye bedi hu nkomo na se ye pese mu na me wonim de bi fa ho a me kire madwen na mmom de meka ne se kwa ye fa so eye amanyukrom djuma edi amanyukrom adjuma ewo ye man mu hanmo no se ye ni ya oman na kasa adjumadi no ebe ye fo ayemrama ye
okay
ya manyuku ahodo no me gidi ye pa se ye running ye. Our political parties are not run professionally. If they were, national issues will be on more. Political parties be boa ama abafum, and I'm talking from political party involvement experience. And now me they can we. Now me na the attitude. Now the biya mi kotu America mampani abedi achiri Hubert Humphrey. The book could be ngoma bi ocho 1965 or to need the causes mankind. I'll say no law can be better than the people who are called upon to obey or administer it. Nitieti mu ni se emra bia ne hono mu a edi mu etene sin o manfo a yese wo mu enya sutie emamra no ene wo mu asese wo mu hwe ehihye mra no ede emra no eya adwuma enti nipa no yensu ne emban sa bi emra no nyetene kra na yensu ne emban ne ya yetimi tintene no along the line na mom se emra no ye kroji to say trust man ya media ma ye free ono agya na nkasa ho ye bra nyenti ya na ye catch no. We read into the Bible instead of reading from it. We read into the Quran instead of reading from it. And then 90% of Ghanaians are either Muslims or Christians. How many of us are faithful to the Bible or the Quran?
Yeah, that's it. Mami ko NDC amanyuko num na regional organizer Emma NDC ewo Greater Accra region Anthony Nupenu ewo fia Nupe nede you too. Sign for Friday aban no ya kwa aban Nupenu.
Eni agia.
Efisha paso.
Afin ko be say ho afi sese na Nyankopon obo ade na drum na yenyina etinkwemu a yehu sisaye.
Apia ni jala bia na hye no. Ese we acknowledge.
Oh enye small. Enye small.
So kushia shake ni ho Dubai.
Kabila. Afise say obo ade enye yadum na asumdwe ahoto nkabom ni yeyo enye yedie na yenyina entimi enhwe nsisan pa ebeba o manu na megidi se afi Nyankopodi ni edi out of the lots yen yetin kwemu ene ehia yedi nkomo bebre na omanya ne si na enim se kakra ka we enim so the next few days no or the ebe twa na odi share 2024 no nti as humans yetu anamon yenini pa ne diakoni aba yenini pa ne ejuma definitely yafum nipa so afum ye. This is the time enyina ebeka say yedi ye nyina ye fum so eche esan say ye sre Nyankopon so fa ye de enche ndi say wo sre Nyankopon so fa wo de enche now nia unua ye na wo di she wo mu de and ye how do you ask God to forgive you? Nti me as human being for all these days minini pay di juma in my political party, in my community, in my neighborhood, in the entire society, all I can say today is I ask for forgiveness from each and everybody. Ma metiano so ma kan bibia tiano ma ye bibia enye nefe sa so na me so me stress obia emfa media enchemi na nyina yen fire hye Nyankopom na onfa afifro no emfa ndumye na me believe say ye remu so a bibi papa bia wo mu no Nyankopom be tu sa na mo na maye. And looking at the year coming, which is going to be a heated partisan political year, no meaning no onirado anybody ye kind because amanyosem is a mature madwin na also chewa at the end of the day no ni obetimi aka beto ni obeto aba no akoma so a obetimi asesa na dwin said ni ameme ka no ene papa no enumu abatuo ena menya enti enye kontiba enye sikan enye tu enye bibi ene be ma obi ato abama wanamonto ni ye wenum kasa eni wa hofama ene kanipa akoma e ma no tu so aba na se nipa no so tu so aba wa manyokunu nhihye a obeye se wodi be bossa abato no ho ban e make sure say ni ayato no eno an ye yi akan edia tu di mu no eno na ma onkunimdi enti I believe say bibia be fine bibia be yi even though informa mu nyede moment nkwa ne hia uwo sika na woni nkwa you have nothing to enjoy So for me, every morning, me sorry, and I say, "Nyago pose mami nkwa."
Nkwa hodi wo.
Yes. And mami say nyami. Me nkosira di fufuru bia o di mami a. Me ni nkwa hodi wo ma. Na afi na me na meti oyi. Enti sire nkwa mami miami hu, me hu kafu. Me ma. Me ni anom madofo. The party mpenyifo ni party titrifo nyina party ma. Isre ahonding nkwama minia kabila Bisrema minia akwetia Starboy Bisrema wa eku abochi miami midofo bisrenkwa ahonding nyansa na misrema se dwume ya wiye nhia we nyina na odi yesa nyama no obi bia otini bia no mema wa fihia pa nyankopon to nkwam oma ahonding oma ofie nyede sensuo po na usa enuma enye nhira ma e wa fi mu na fadi esmas no na bibia nya fan ye nyina ye fa odo entina ma fifufro ento ye amen
yeda se ebusua na sofo amedi o mo ba fia na aye be miensa fi se nupa nu di ono kra de minim sese wonu so edamu sa ono wa shira wo bia da bi ono se
pipi na ache no
kebi ye be kwa so ye se inshira na edi kofie no enu bi no de
ama from the beginning wa my benediction in the beginning
me imagine se matu nyumpo ansa na master
de nyum so
sanka me wo techem apem ka me yimi jefu na ye Fisenya waya mami dosupi Oye me kwanchirefu Adi nina sutufu Miraze misile yiwaye Adi nina sutufu Yentete wafupa Kwanchirefu pa Yendi mafu asida Ayeye nyumna yezebe mawu Eraze miside iwaye
Ose kase amanfo ni papa na nti mi se ozo ni enanti hu makano amena otunyamyo
mo ba fa mentie ti na minim na mo kampo
ebisha for yensem enne dapno so no assembly abato no ye yifiri mu a enye yi assembly abato no ensemo ewom sada so na MPP general secretary call for say wo a wukita dibra odwen se da bi wabre adwuma no ntumi nye wa ankasa fato ho eme nya reshuffle kra ma meyi wa odi fato ho no mo na call baby eno so eda epono so na the call for say 2024 abato na ye beto no enema enkoso asumwie mu National House of Chiefs na empanimfo calling o sa asumwie abato no eno so ewo mu yensam wa de topono so no because say en sports wo ho no mo 16 no topics no ye ode na chese wasum na ye de ko eti ma mensha semfiu so amensha semfiu so honest na ye enko yanim
Matiebi this is then our person discuss
and na make sure no assembly elections no eno da ho no mo ebi and na wa manyoko so what general secretary de no say me na nka me ka say bi a ye betwen ama reshuffle na baba say utie national organizer asemo a wo kan asemo pushi akwa party ne de akwa ensachira ye ne ma enti ne na appeal na batu nipa no eye adwuma ne say wo awuntumi nya adwuma no fato ho nako baby eduru no ohun mo mujidi se ebi adwuma omo ye na nso ani nke wo se omo ana omo konye se yenyi omo ohun because me ne minim ne se ne wa appoint no no hwe na adwuma ne nso ani ana nkwa wo no nya sa na tie
ebi amenda wase na menda tie for so ase na baby ade ya faide ase wodi kan buye nkolokon deda na veze buye ko mbanya botre so what I say na ebi no kwani say the general secretary kan no first of all mebo na abaso say okasasa na mebo na abaso it is not much of na assemnity no kan but even akokuduro a onyaya or the kan asem I think he deserves to be commended because ene amanyo sem no ayeye no minim se na American siko fancy ntwi enipa nyachum
siko fancy hypocrisy
nyachum o nipa bebre afa ana kamia say o de bia no o kata de wamanyo sem eye ne so a and no na ya na nipa be ni feel say you are defending the party but me su kodu maybe nso a also timi kasa uti wan na so timi kan asem no because kana the right thing is done in the end no wa manyoku no ana beboa no etimi de ya na mehu on both sides of the political divide mehu nkofo a omutimi nya kokuduro e kan o ma adwen be it right or wrong no I feel say they deserve to be commended in the end yenina wo yen adwen whether the nipa ne kind the judgment that we want to place on it no yes now they do want to say to me no you Kufuor na someone penny e that prerogative e your no right say obe appointee now we reshuffle no way nkofo bi efi onom yeah, over the period, and some of us express your intent. I can say, yes, reshuffle a year, except for I say, obey reshuffle because Anya she crown, ebi Anya she no be so editing pop for beba. Maybe na meetie only on my Mukomodi Mukayaka, Greater Accra Regional Minister, a coba second not on yet regional minister. But be regional minister no emitia mu enipa bi hu hyehyeye ni anamotu obi otu ya omo face say emfaso wo so anantisa sa pepepe na so ye reshuffle obi fufo nso ba na obe occupy sa position na me feel say niama bi a odada na na oti onom no ebia na onu ehu ye no fufo nso ba ananse bia suban bia na say eniye bia na no consider as minute ebia feel say we dey enya ade chichi bia na fufo betimi abihu obeya eno betimi aso timemfo eni bade nyina nkemfo an eyo mampeni tumi Ghana mama ni di tumi no asho mampeni sa so he decides to make that decision say obeya reshuffle anaso nyo mampeni so aka ato plane amenya ati say he doesn't actually believe in reshuffle over the period no amaya ati say no as a person or as a president of let's say sebi we reshuffle na we say onu nankasa asini onu so wogidi wo mu say reshuffle ya me ebe lead to a needed result but it says na general secretary can in the interest of the party no won say ebi mubisa your national organizer question bi na question na mubisa na mo si o adentina omampani yin konfoni fi ono na rather no general secretary advice say konfoni so abra almost step it down. You see, the general secretary is speaking from the party point of view. As the administrator for the party, no. Sebi, se me amiti na me occupy position kwa na. Me ni ye ni misuni me buy ni manamu tubi amitu no. It should inure to the ultimate benefit of the party and the larger group of Ghanaians no. It is a what is our position maybe I will ni ye ni wanamu tu awutu no. It is not leading to the ultimate benefit. Say Ghana for do na nyamfa so enfiso na say party no. The party ni so hwehwe efi wonche no. Ye sanka general secretary on kwa say bia do twa esano no nim say na chiachia. But so tufu na say wo no one kasa nso yobi a uti book composure wechi ebisa on sama na mutu amitu and am asa me say me party for nefa then you also advise us but unfortunately no ya manyo sema ye Ghana no enye easy say obi be sorry on his or her own one can say ebi me position me kwai me jato say me am fi mi pem me jato say me position me pebim. It is not a culture that we normally practice.
The manipa ba ko pe sabre no gifati bo ho ono odi ni position no to ono na resign. There was one person be or resign here.
Gifati bo there so no there
Kwamna Donko. Yeah.
Gifati bo there no can say MPP ba on if you quit on be too much on there one resign sir. It is so it's easy
kind and no ni all the kind no.
Oh ya me fa ne crazy ba me kai say
enye common.
Yeah, nye common. Ghana no say so as it say general secretary.
It is more appeal na mo ye no munim so obi ensi from but moka.
Oh David, I am saying say enye common intina general secretary show mun cry say wo fele say bia bia wo abedu no e bia wapem ana say bia won say wajuma ye no enso party for any ni ade a ono de say even though ye hwe anim say omanpanyi e de ehihye anaso be sa reshuffle because say na kan omanpanyi prerogative we can only wish and also advise so as general secretary party so we be say national organizer kan so mo tu anamo no ba na mo no tu wi a the 2 million crown no ono say o exercise sa 2 million it is all nye no general secretary so or share omo mu kra appointment ni nkran say yenim say yen culture mu no enye easy say one can say so say we see from but show crying say so hwe no abra party no you more men no betima ye adwumanti fato no be for meto so I feel it's a humble call I was say appointees ni ade no bia hatimi evaluate no no hwe say ampa bebi ogina no obetimi abo but largely to say sana makan is a call for the president. We can only wish, and at the end of the day no the president can say all exercises are to me now every baby sound say then you be to me and sometimes so no and I wishes and so and yes I wish na it is going to be boama yen na yetim po a hwehwe yen saka obisa a question bi say and yes I reshuffle and reshuffle na metie oni oman na your reshuffle bi wa bosi aye wi kwa na wase no so I kwesi konsu na ogina kwan mu entino and yes I reshuffle ne keke ana ye pe no ana you see one of the things is why sometimes I also timidity on man penia sikese ne say enehwe ne parliament ai 137 ya yetimi how do obi kwa ko say yem vet ne ya approve na hwe on the minority side hwe ne ama ya omutimi ye santa omutimi tra kwa to the extent say yem ya no no kwa any parliament house they determine things for them so kabila ya oti onu na no be kasati ya mama ti mama approve ni da na minority for nyina so monti if you are going to go through all this hurdle back and forth and all the tension that is associated with this sometimes so show man penny shoes now obeta se ne service in panic konia have no immediately me feel say gauging the mood of the country especially where we are coming from any baby ayaba bedu any even parliament and cancer the existing structure as the parliamentary setup no be providing the supervisory role now also mo providing no ebi sebi odo pa isi man peninta so ye some massive reshuffle na be mu dwa enuanom no be start aye parliament house or sebi ensem fata but they will do it just because they think that man peni share budget kwa na nu omo approve kwa. Look at how they subjected themselves to a lot of stress. But at the end of the day, in parliamentary practice, you let it slide. You have to scrutinize. So what I say. But this is not one of the. But this is definitely one of the things. On Mampelikas or yes, they are going to hold the party to ransom just because they have the advantage position of being on the vetting committee.
Basa scrutinization a woken no wonyi ni se no ne ade ye omo ye se ebia ye de atwia ba ye de nesta ba ye nka se because se minimum nest because e toda parliament vetting no ye see appoint obi from the house out him say no ne vetting cry ye na different from obi a onye member of parliament or bemu eti omo ye omo adwuma amumu ne se da bi omo kotete omo eti si ye de ye beyi foforo ne ye de akọ parliament ama omo akotete omo de ye na nya reshuffle kura wase mu
there ebi nyesa na eka no mama ncho opa fe any person or any of the leaders in the house or Bekacho say they have a convention or parliament say over the period whether from Gerald's time BC they have an established convention agree among them in terms of vetting. Say if there are no critical issues obiba vetting as or a parliament even or a sitting member of parliament among themselves they have to approve their person to move on. By that established convention in and now no uncomfort call vetting when you see it. NDC for good yen sami je feeling lupo mumu ni erikeje mu ni ade no omo ne bo chobo say debi adentina nipa ba ko omo ani san say ensem fata say sa nipa ni nya approval omo ye ya de bi kwa ko yeru akojo ponkoma hwe percentage a onya ya ansa na omo approving in parliament. And that is what I'm saying, say in the combination of all these issues in the scheme of things me na me your man penny and I'm na say me yes reshuffle now me dream sa nyama we nyina I'll factor them into consideration and then I make say bia na ye we sha ye hwehwe fi o man penny ono bia na ye ntimi anya ne sa but ye ntimi anya ne sa one of the alternative things are general secretary betimi anya so betimi ahye appointees nin crying say wa ofun so feel say bi a wa bedum pempen so bi a wo ideas ni ade na wo creativity ni ade no wontimi speed ni happen no so say fatu na ofofo so ye de embe so I don't think in the scheme of things no say bibi is an say bi so ye nkwan ko bi room momoni room beef room say nkwan ni ye da it doesn't matter the man nkwan ni ye de ana meboa anama ko hwe say momoni the man nkwan ye de so na TV nkwan ni de na ye nwa ye de ye hwehwe in the larger scheme of things no Ghanaians are the ultimate beneficiaries. I will say young Ghana for itiminya emfaso papa fi aban so and the party no being the driving force no you feel say general secretary e kan sa enye ne bone so
yeah that's say abusuana siakumi ene atenenka no MPP parliamentary candidate for Akwatia constituency ma menko na the national forum editor ana kebi managing editor mo Dr. Kwabna Bonfe e wo fie ha kebi so
akua
ma PP achi
pese wonsam na me kebia bom me gidi ye pa say ye constitutional ye operating no sankomo me ta e kan wasem amanyukuo emitumi wo aban efano mampani dibre no nti you don't have a party in government.
Party
there's no party in government because and yes our system no any constitution you operate executive presidency. Two, what are your constitutional arrangement now? And this is the parliament some national begania ya to abayi no amanyuko bidum and now kasa amanyuko no on don biom and now kan biom a esese ye koto ne so aba biom and I'm say ahensode a ode ba amrahye bedafi ona adane ana say bedane ti ese ye san koto ne so aba no mampani di brand sa and then mampani adranko akufado o kasa sebi onye MPP ni biom a it has no effect whatsoever on his presidency. Enti sadi na ya dibia political parties are so far as sponsor presidents ayenyo mu nyina no e putu omo in a very tight corner gentia political party no manifesto enya mampani a yeto obaji no personal manifesto enti we the political parties bia no ewo manifesto committee no makoye enhihye say when you dey turn yen franka 24 na franka 2 no onyetu ni bia say enen so be na manyuko no wo ewo ne so eno na media kakra minim enen say officially yet started here by convention me papa his excellency John Ajokunkufo na penso oma the party general secretary ni chairman almost started call cabinet say one bet to me achia dwin afa amamuo e wo me say o me party for any partners a party government there but now say a party manifesto and na wo mo divide na church for penny any titrani wo mo and I think say free sabre no ba no it has been the convention now no na me can say we be no be catch am say even under Mr. Rollins that arrangement was there but now you're quiet now say mo ye no quiet there ye can back cause na yen kam nka ho de yenim any de beto dwa ye den ye huye any de tie aye di sankomoyi na kwa da bia me kase ye ka the need for constitutional amendment esese ye sisupi adekodia ye pese ye no say ye pese ye no party sponsored governments ye constitutional amendment to reflect that. Otherwise, you know, sabi mampani you need to abayi na watu abayi no na mom I drink aka me want to say the party church for penny dia bay me gidi e pass the entire beto dwane say e bia wakasa wokukuamu wabre me nyanes na e kan sisi say omo say bia the attitude of the president is unperishable. Well, presidency dudu amamu enye ba ko for de me pe anade mampani obeka say openko. In fact, governance is about the ability to capture the mood of the people and respond with appropriate remedies. And into the mampani on your security briefing every morning. And I say supposedly every morning the president should have security briefing. As I say, you cap the AC kukwam, the AC nyamya, mantem, mansini, nina ya capture nina ya screen it through. Na dia kwa kotina ni say the ekosuni. Hwe santehine ya okan se mi say nananom be so na daye. Sabi daye so na ya na okan wase na from hungu mu de no. Woni say o wa so a wo ne man no mu nyina nkofo be ka che no. Nananom daye na ye so no ebi wonu a ensem kanya wonu a kasa gu na sum no wonko ka che no. And that's the intelligence arm of traditional governance. The Biameka say, we intelligence is weak and I say failure, you are in trouble as a government. Because any man who crying, Emma Otiti, the Sebi, Obi Major Begamunka. And so who here pa if I'm Mamuno. Now what's it, no, and Sakra a bit priya appear. And Tidiana Eka Kusi, Reshuffle. Namina can say be, you can't reshuffle as Sebi and just a cofani pafo for bra. Now I can say vetting a problem among parliament in tea one name yet. What means so for free be free animal at the Nukwa? What means some was so for no so but the one for say a dose to do. Tiso say I do okay. Tiso man members do a doom. And I said, you see why I reshuffle. Finance minister, the whole world, everybody has said say one call. One kase mampani ka say onye IMF deal akwa meboa se meboa owi a obekọ meboa IMF negotiation yenwie
sika no manwie
negotiation no
sika no manwie
munya mo makasa ne yedi say negotiation yenwie
and just a president in the bitumi year
no nti mampani I just want to plead with him. Say the general secretary coming out is a dangerous signal to the presidency. Say Omumpa access to you at the cabinet level and directly as a party which you join when the general secretary chief scribe. If you come public on this matter, Mr. President, you got to sit up and listen, because governance is not just about what you think or how you feel, but the people. And American governance is about capturing the mood of the people and applying appropriate remedies. Do amamu enya de me pe enya de wo pe nko a sebi otimi ye bibia e bi kwa anyansa mu no nkento asumu but o say dodo asumdwe nti ma menye ni sei enti de meka fa no na mom na general secretary so meaning out of frustration or the akasano in the way he asked. But as general secretary, you should be able to engineer certain things. Men can be brave. No, but as general secretary of your party,
because many national organizer kasa mi bisa ne say thing and then ye mum fam and penny so kokwe mun ko no say o maye.
And this make a say for them to come public on it, no. Oh my, no could they have my bread.
Nese, General Secretary in the lobbying skills to say,
you must say political party. Now president, a member of that party. Now you're General Secretary, Chief Scribe. You should be able to occasion certain situations. The president will have no option than to say yes. Menkasa, a futisana medema. You should be able to trigger certain things. Yeah, mampani on. Sabi. I know me person me de traditional authorities here in front of because I wanna mesua one more because asantini gonja wo no. You fire gbonra. Enya de ye gbonra pe me pe enko na de bia wo yo. Something me sabi. Otoko course of person nana wani mu a. Enya de bia ono be ma koku bia o yes something he o se tutu ba bio. Enya ne pe na de bia oyo Asempa FM de manhia beka ne ka manhia na visa ni pa baako visa yo ni baako Asempa enti ko na hia ya wo na say o mu di asem wo no a sabi ono no ye the Supreme Court judge in the judicial capacity no wouldn't say fake wo no any buasem no baby adodo be ebeko no ho na asante ni gina se dodo no ko baby a ene mra asante nkai mra kese no se ne no bebra obefa mo akukuko mi o makokasa ama wo mo husenti ayemfum so sinto wom omo ba na ya ba dan ya no ama dodo baby adodo be gina no santini akoho. So you see, when we talk about consensus in traditional governance now, kind of majority, but majority thinking than majority rule. Do draw again baby eko buano no and na ehu hia kese ekwanti dia mema sra kan nyina say akwada bi won mo a oye class obi ani say akwara yi failure exam say ani na mpanifo ahase tunufo akua de oye de obefeli o na akua tiefo ebeka bosumi mienu am yasua de eyakoye nsohwe na akua ahase anajo babia na nka akua akwa nu nti obi ebo no kokoi waja akọ afi wotene nwoma ho ne results na beba ayi akua na afi de ne ayi ne grace akoye eni bi nkwai adani osisan bibi ede no sisan isuban ni yoye na mutu enti emfa wonti na mekacho se wo nkwa na wadi nyina enti mesre asem general secretary kano wider implications to governance. But bottom line, Mr. President, with all humility, with the pulse of your party, the pulse of the nation, the pulse of parliament, the pulse of your government. Now, and a babuama nema tutu yinti media no betre on mo. Na ECD no.
Kebi ma
no
na fe yemko ECD measure safe so because if say me hu say ebra so say me ne hia me ye date no
mbajo ma no ye
de ma nupenu enwie MPP for de no minim say MPP de bia onche wo ho
na nke hia me papa bia but to a large extent it's about the country because your power so for oni bia no ni sunsun so o man so enti say ya kan say o man penya Akufo-Addo ni asoafo mo modern mo enso ni for all these 7 years na fiansa na chocho for penyi edi to omuni say wonim say wa brea wa fa wadwuma to ho a mbe se me bisa kodua say ono gina ho no fo say hwan na wo MPP mu en na obefo say obefili any gap of failure hwan na be ko injury time we akogu ni masi
ntu gidi say omunya nipa on be replace say Risha for omunya
Jesus anipa no okope bibie di pa so onu ko ejuma ben okoye ejuma ben pan sunku so de be sisania mani to change the fortunes of this reckless and poor governance. You say, oh, last minute business copy be na in fango opposition. And as any pan be offani home. Because are you telling me that my penny ni ekoso oni? Now this is a president. Anytime party for any be sing kunyaka say my penny we say not the penny paper mama say minister or person me ni the choridi. That has been his star.
No tell. And out meeting.
Oh. Kabila.
And now prophetic eye.
That's about okay. They say obi akwa na the pen amount.
MPP for party before me catch him say na make can be twa kontompo.
MPP party pen for na
catch. Catch him say dia make yi.
O ne o kan wan fa dance ya mo bi me catch say wo.
No, o say more paper and paper. True. Also true. Tell me which of the ministers I should remove. So he ties their hands. Because una oka say yiwe na go ka je say asimesi na say me you
na
ekuya me kei madam sidin eye diasporan executives ombe two executive position aba e wo krom ha no omo so omo ni o man panyinya asetena e na omo di kire ni say o man panyia so ye insistem Samuel last year na these 2 years no timi nya new breath of life na nyama musisa omu no mu di betu dwa say omu kwa kan ro man penyi so omu kire ministers a opom peso yi omu no mu ka sa asem o kroma endi ma kire mi dance di
omu se man penyi mo omu penyi omu
tro ministers a mo fu say mi nya omu reshaf
o na ka sa
so what pie na wan betia kobo replay ma aka wie SW1 6 o'clock ni here kan ji so twen 8 o'clock
on in terms PP
actually for me no the frustration in the political circle, the party circle, as to omo say minister here more number but the moment audi adwichere be kono the authority of reshuffle be ka just say who person me here we reshuffle but nifu we no bra. You see, we share to a large extent that me di akonya about local government sector pa na emra ye pa ora dambotri. I had a lot of confidence as to the stature in politics and who he has been, and I hoped a type of revolution within our district assemblies. Bene nyamini Ukraine, the most poorly managed sector of governance in the country today, local governance.
In terms of the
assemblies are all off, they don't function. Sanitation, AD9 in every district assembly. Maintenance of community roads, nothing. Maintenance of institutions, be it health facilities, be it educational facilities, all these are worker na assembly they augmenting the central government, and then all these things are off. So what are we doing? Street lighting is off. In the assemblies, no, they're no more here. So the sector minister, your minister of local government, your minister of state in charge of local government, and there were 2 deputies. And there's our director at the office of the president in charge of local governance. And Ukorana, that is the scorecard of the local government sector. Look, the local government ministry today should have done a recommendation for redemarcation of electoral areas. And then your electoral area, the total number of registered voters is about 30,000. Is it bigger than some constituencies' total number of registered voters? So, some assemblyman, and yet only the number of population pool, but who share the demarcation, the jurisdiction of that electoral area, how wide it is. Now, the ministry or the minister hasn't seen the need. So, but uncle, so yes, our proposal no. So, assembly election and can say redemarcate, because how can a whole municipality have only 11 assembly members? Because a committee of assembly should not be less than 9 committee. It is only 11 members. How do they function on all this console? The people you see on FNE, the same people on revenue mobilization, the same people on social services, the same people on justice and security, the same people on maybe education committee. Assembly. The need or the reason of creating local government structure is to have the requisite hands and knowledge to complement and augment the force of the DCE and the technical staff. But who are less persons are some here the advocacy job, legislative and deliberative job. No, how effective is that assembly going to function? Create one constituency, one municipality, or one district. Until the moment you created that pet, you must do redemarcation of the electoral areas to have more persons to the assemblies. So the capacity of the assembly and allowance yedi mom it is one nipa bebre a betimi aboa ye important mpuntuo so omni nipa be dia nkita ho akoniaba create it na yetimi lesson bed no say assemblyman baako ewo electoral area nipa over 30,000 nipa 20,000 ni jurisdiction eye too wider on timi cover ni nyina ho susuaso ni the poor turnout ye hu because bronu bi wo ho assemblyman no on timi hoda then e motivate and crofo no say omo to abama assemblyman. So the implications are there. So one sector of the reshuffle I believe should happen and happen very swift is the local government sector, because they have not functioned. Common fund income. So what he say now Toshini minister no kranya almost a bro at cabinet.
Na common fund no when minister no na sika no e wono. Say
common fund administrator na na Toshiyado.
Na sika no hin na wo say free ba.
Common fund administrator na me boni di no. Ono na ye nhihye na ye calculation na sika no on na say ohwe say it goes to the various assemblies. Then implementation is supervised by the minister. Enti enko na adwuma enko yie no. Say odiko tu o mampanyin say look, the way a common fund ya story am adwuma ayedi won me sector no. Unique administrator no kasa na yenhwe ne ebeye improve the services in the communities. Administrator say yakase tianani. One thing to cause.
Abai mo information pa.
One thing we are journalists, me kasa na we are bumenintia.
Ona also what was
menyesa.
There be say what?
I got him enti
ntokwan mentewe.
Ayo. For me, frustration are setting the MPP. It is not about only the reshuffle of ministries. The entire government and the political party, Emra to say, Niamwabe no Ghana for say, Yadamwasi. Because you haven't performed in anywhere. As we speak now, every major project or Mampenyaka say, oh, yeah, no, they've stalled them. Now, you see, the moment you stall a construction for even 1 month, the contractor will mobilize back to site. It goes through variation orders and a whole lot. At the end of the day, the project costs about 50% by account. So I'm asking myself, why are we still awarding contracts when all these contractors are back off roads? He said, "Wosika yedi engineer new construction. Why are we not completing the old one?" We share Junction Monungwa Mall, Eba through Nungwa, Sakwano contractor nisu. Na bebiana contractor ni di kwani 2 years away fisu. Cars are applying it. Everything is gone back to zero. Obasua, ejuma eso sayeno. So why do we do this to ourselves?
Yeah, that's no point.
Enti de mesre. Omanpe no ntie party na sumpem. Ko party na wo no, but he holds executive power. And is it because on Wangasa the performance femunti he feels said or tachi obi because why more the men are obo instructions ben because is the president instructions on that why are you laughing?
Can you imagine?
Why? Could you maybe about to say when you could but the way I will canon that suggestion I don't know NSA and a panel minister on court because on our ferry aban week ferry governance week into a panel and they just all pay BBD and obey appointment.
Ebusiania yati Anthony Nupenu regional secretary organizer rather regional organizer NDC Amanyukun Greater Accra region Mamen Kona KB Mfiensha se ewo assembly abato a yedi 2 days ato na watwi mu KB.
Well the kind no electoral commission and commission no sem kan unim ba bia migina ye kabi ma min kan bi de ekua oma enya gidie wo mu eye ku batan ku a oye amamraba na ohwe sa abato no abato nsem so commission na ye kan electoral commission na eye edinatuku anabasunku kan article 43 or establish a commission no or say there shall be an electoral commission made up of the chair, 2 deputies and 4 other members, commission members no. Now hwemu chairperson no ne ni deputies no omo ye first among equals. Omo nya ye commission members. So that I say and ye yi binom by constitutional arrangement ne say omo na ye banodafo. Nti enya se bi kwasitum I establishing a multimedia company I will recruiting crofo. They function differently. And now Osha commission no so dwumadie no a nipa 7 nipa nson no ba sonko no onko antumi nye adwumasom a eda commission no so. Enti ye wo permanent employees and as one more eye adwuma daada wo ho. E wo mantam ene mansini awodo e wo omanmu no nyina. Ansana bribia ye beto aba edos omanmu no nyina no. Enam say wo mo daada adwuma ye fo no wo mo dodo no trek asinti wo mo fa nipa binum a ye frey temporary staff for say bre tia binu adwuma ye fo ma ye bi pen 2000 elections na me temporary staff ewo Freeman College opposite Wesley College ewo kuma say Saturday e free constituency no o ta for swami constituency ne ya chichem ama ye be se constituency be se miensa so na kwa one more permanent members of the commission no ebinom in fact do no kwa wait ma ka say o ma che ewo adwuma no mu ewo ebia nimde wo mu chen ba sonfo na yayi wo mo no o mo ba ebi o mo ba ye dudo na in fact efi mame Jimensa ene miami professor Eric Asare Bosman Sare ene Samuel Tete Madamfo no he's one of the old members of the commission he appointed or member the commission so say mfe be sensi ntem ni na enu 2018 2018 mfe be sen numu ni mfe numu obi o ma wo yedma o commission sebo ko ku doctor minia ono wo yedma on be sen mfe be aduoni ni akire ni covid chedodu ebi no ma yedma on be kese mfe aduasa o super so okore ahojim okore retirement you that there enti wo institutional when it comes to institutional memory now it may not reside with the 7-member commission except in a situation I will be to say Samuel Tete who is an old hand there our commission member so dole say commission members 7-member commission you have to listen to the permanent employees ese mutie wo mo afutu se mo do ma kwa ya fa so nya niema ene de keka ho they are so far assembly elections na me ni oman no mu na me ba ye matitensem na manya a reports bi no so electoral commission preparation was inadequate it was not adequate na adequate preparation and omaye why omo wo kwan bi a won fa so ye hwehwemu after every election ye to ba bi awia isi no eya wo mo conduct internal assessment internal review of the electoral process na wo mo ankasa ho de to mo hofo me stress Mami Jimensa ne 6 other commission members no wo mo nye thorough in that if you say near matete kakra about this district level elections any preparation do we see no so on the same attitude the next elections were Ghana more it will be disastrous na da bia no me have to say me optimist am I a perpetual optimist enti bibia besi bia no say ye popo say ye boni o me positive attitude towards it why ye course so anko yie no kwan da ho say be hua de say ye betene no de ko yie no kwan da ho say ye betim amana yeye enti won say me instead of looking at the glass as half empty I'm looking at it as half full kuwa na si wono enso na egum no aye ma dufa me nka se e fa do to si enti aye madu fa no kwan na be na me fa so ama de aka enye ye ma no me din so be guma ma na ye den aye ma eno ni mahia de enti de me de be sre manage mensa ene na pamfo commission no eno no more executive power, but to be effective and to be practical no as I say munya a lot of support from one more aye adwuma wo commission no mo ache no e woni mbie fa ho no ade bia amanfo aka ho asema de ntina ye guso eto aba ebesi nei akua no de emra no mu no hwe the CI on elections now. I think we haven't changed CI 94 and I say changing no cra exception I'm say CI 10 something. Yeah, the 2020 last elections now there was a new CI. The such a no a meaning say sonko. The meaning say you won't quite say ye two abano shed that and copy and now working. If there were problem challenges with the technical biometric machines no nyade enti aminim sentia enei ebinu guso to aba anase ye kan mfidie no den na ma atochema enhihye ba ne ye ahusisi ba ne ye sisi ye hwesa ne ma nyina na akande ayade to aba no say ye paper say ye de ben yo sabi eye say ye be ya ma bia ka since you be kodu baby na ebi enso means what masia it's better to have excess materials, voting materials, than to have shortage. And in time you see the budget equal now when the budget according to approve budget now then you have a problem. And I'm happy say parliamentary was subcommittee committee bia both sides of the house or more and special budget committee. That special budget committee no, there's a procurement committee.
Okay.
MPs no extra should be. Obia o sudie say obehwe say commission no be ye na dwuma yi no ye nhwe man ye. You see electoral commission the interior made bia akua me di ka ebesi de nhemfo no aka no. Obi antimi wi abamu emma obi wo electoral commission abraye nhunu anase ye nhunu akira kwan no ene say free bra ye chance say ye ba biometric process from 2012. The minim kakra with my limited IT understanding. And he say adebia obeya e what technological impact and a print biano eja paper trail I print and I say eja trail on more trace I bet my tracy at akọ say Ernest obewura computer you must have we say because all no dey access code ba ho obia obeko me uba me computers no be wura mu na ko vi say me bana mi hu so bia ba me computer so dey wait me wura me hu bra nipa ne de ba ye simado do nipa ni di ye ne ade ni ya technology ma ye ho kwan enti se obi be ka se obi wia ba mu pa dia ma obi a man fon to aba ma no e be peja na me nyini se electoral commission anybody will dream doing that. In fact, also the SOBS there now, Ghana will resist it. Enti many for no omukokobona omde mano eye na minim sentia omugina so de kan de minim say etrim popa enya futu so omde ma assurance amede be ma wo mo say there is no way obi betina rege elections in this age and time akuya Abraham find it out. The other issue indelible ink once in biaba. Let me say it here and now. We need to continue using indelible ink. When I catch us a biometric verification, panacea, and I say foolproof. Indelible ink will be a double indicator. You say the say verification, yanko, say.
They didn't see a new stage because now I'm director of electoral services, Dr. Sriboku.
Yes.
And I may be some reason here. Obi anka nye inki ni ese asa ena obi an complain ye say ye pay inki no mu ye free no ka say ye pese ye koye nim bia mu no free tete ye say the ink na se ne biometric machine no betumi ya me ehu say ka bia beto ono a na asan ye bai na emma wo nto a di nti ne ye say hia ink no what do you say?
Mama, me your penny. I money rain fi say. Yeah, I false errors. I your friend say biometric system. Na you see. They make an say fallback plan.
But there's also a special list I'm not taking with images, so
exactly.
Then that becomes
exactly almost one. Sebi. Yeah, taking off the biometric process. Are you clear? If you do biometric process, and now one more ankasa nipa akwana no seem to be tea. Yeah, you almost free biometric process no. Yeah, isn't you almost better than I verify. Aye. Almost way. And you see, we shouldn't be in a rush to do more than technology grants us. You see me buying. I don't know that one more. You per se a proper system no. Media, my friend say there is no justification to warrant not using indelible ink as we speak now. Enti you be so you swear no ya. Now my friend me give you cry ye. One more enya kwan eco serve temporarily edema commission. I can tell you my name teacher me tutor training college that Mr. Bedu on na near friend saying the polling officer and I'm a assistant to him. Presiding officer, thank you. Me na me assistant presiding your polling station Freeman College. I had my bias. I had where I would vote. But who paper no diama who ye wajuma who say do huni. My training 2 days. Do my 1 day. My oti as I said, baby, you do one be no. So now we are among your sending or baby, won't mean yet. And you'll be able to go temporary list. Can we say that day? One man, no quota, dear, shall warn you, I didn't know what they are to change. I say, I saw him, one may you are sorry penny. Udin se munubia, a video be a sorry penny, dear. Who is had a man and to mess saying now, yes, say you say, Bibia be ya, he su, ya bra, and a bachelor.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Ernest, try see from where?
Maybe the independent. The independence of the Electoral Commission is guaranteed by law. Says na yin na nim na insani bi o largely no mene miami brapeni kabila adwin na bibia mene ne nya adwin the fact say o say e was say commissar for no abrinya na was say mutie workers no no when you go on that tangent ebe hakakra the son say no, I'm just telling you because he relied on institutional memory. Wow, say,
but don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they should follow what they say all the time. But for you to appreciate the issues involved day to day at the place, listen to them. Give them a hearing. Listening to them doesn't mean that take everything they say. Who client is good.
It's good if you clarify. Initially, say.
So you should have seen for you come that way.
No, but I know I good because Abia the Otie ya and Timmy ya exactly.
But it's good he has clarified that because now me per se ye ma sa clarity
because they can mislead you if you are also not careful.
Exactly.
There are people with agenda.
Especially in our dispensation, sabotage. Can say, even with the presiding and returning officers, people have their biases. Until with the existing structure, you still have people there, almost more biases and interests. They be someone you care for, it can mislead them. It is good to say we've clarified that aspect. Now, the next issue I make one and say, Mestre say. No, even though yenya akwenya eka isi no ho asem ni ade no whether good or bad I think the EC must listen because baby omugina nintino and for the integrity of omankasa so madwuma omoye nintino sometimes you can say ma e wo so mutie na abana e wo mu no na omo so ma fa bi because sometimes nka meni wo ka say wo hwe EC e wo ya se bi adwuma enye first time amobe bi ni Oma yebi ama yede akwa abato ama yehu the fee mu buy sebi o man disappointing nti ko bi ka sanka the record is there but it sounds say adwuma no ne true a eye efantino the least mistake no ebetimi ama enunyam a waye previously na eda ho twe no ebeto atwene na egu adwuma no mufi etini yebeso mo say good or bad in every election no that duty of care e was so mutimi masa ade no e wo honom no mutase de se bese panic oni haban no mutie timenu for suggestions na de ombetimi aye de abom de adwuma ebini de namnya kabila kan about biometric e ampa nanka ne feso ni say the fact that biometric ni betimi a capture say e ampa wuni na watu aba na ukono nanka hu hia say nka ebe issue sa indelible ink no basana make no adwuma ne ho etro and sometimes obe skip adebako until say assemble ba obi benya sa ade ni die gina so abo okọ edu no ansa na obe hu say manam otu ametu yi nka ma anye ne sa nka bia eboae. It is so far as I media no common cliche I am used to me say so far as I didn't comedian if it is the right thing I will do it and just move on. It is Saudi indelible ink ube used to know I say she na tutu bibia senede your best say if it is there they must just use it in the meantime. I mean
but he say I chinyenti na ye so close wa ye.
Thank you.
Well, for me, I think say one indelible ink no minimum total cost edit to easy so NTR like I say I think they should leave it there because you see when you have a very volatile country addicted everything sparky tension. Don't create the opportunity for ignoramus to take advantage of and give you more tension. I believe that technology has come to stay. And by the BVD, the moment they capture way up when a breaking code. Now I know it has its efficacy rate, but because of the kind of situation I think they should relax on that aspect. Election with all materials available. I get him in two. Their preparation to this election was way below the standard because me witness a lot of officers no hire omono omunim de wo adwuma no susua and a kosa and your how baby ever because filling of the daily accounting sheet is one critical thing. Now when your presiding officer upon no say pin sheet in soon yenti memma wo me mawo umobi na wa mobi now catch you be say onu twa on the phone so isi ni share ni say ye ma obi a pin sheet na I don't think because preparation for every election there you must have everything up to the task. Another area to say oh ye nim say assembly election ye nipa do number 20 ye limited number of printing of ballot papers. It doesn't lie in the bosom of electoral commission to think ahead say because a young crowd do number 20 my emfa do no emrani say udi the right number and practice 5% extra etoso that is what emrana catch. And to go to some centers and say, oh, nipa 400 now have only 300 ballot papers now, and also the tension about some areas because agent be all the ya teaching the so corners and material in super 5% that mempini. Now only candidates now yes I share no. Now say on the election day, these are the things we encounter. I think and also no flaws. But they should have crossed all these barriers and. Look, a case war committee 3, one letter Tamawest Jatabu. Guy no say why your coalition? Why a coalition? Your coalition won't mean fair candidates no. Mamu say coalition now no and no a match with Nyomusomukita now also quite declaration and a deep pinche baho. Then at the end of the day, he announced a result. Who announced yes, no one ma copy to the candidates. And I will be additional bag. Do you know said the people surrounded the police omu kipi easy any police hostage from that evening to the next day 12 midday. So it is asem. Uti
yeah.
Wanti. Yes, Tema West. The Tabu electoral area. Some of us have to go in, negotiate before we are able to quell the people off for police and EC to move out. Now you got in police commander committee 2. Ye kasa ya and so mo beg you mo phone so to say presiding officer no with your bro. So training of your officials should be key, because going to election near all or the final decider of the police station presiding officer no. On only phone so be ye game edu coalition center edu neighbor. Ye be sre omo man prepare ye. The way I mean political party me so me prepare say everybody am here appointing his own sim and name every so nya nimdie about election. So onko ye bibia edu ye neighbor man no. Sa so no musu no omo dey ba to be officials of the day no should have the in-depth knowledge of election processes. Na yin na yen save omen.
Yeah, that's it. Abusi Anthony Nupenu eni atene nkan NS mame na masena ye mfansia. Akra so folk ne Olympics fo aye krado. Eti ye the live commentary
Oli konson
Oli konson for na eba no lead that